Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our presentation. We are Team Statistician. The members of this group is Ahmad Shibbir 1824143, Hasan Al Mamun 1820613, Mid Ehsanul Haque 1912685, Jobaer Ahmed 1918243, Alsakkaf Ghadir Hassan 1827374. Our problem statement is what people use to prepare before buying a new mobile. Mobile phone is one of the newest technological gadgets. People have different priorities before buying a new mobile. In our survey, we try to know their preferences. We choose some random response and take the answer of our questions. Next, brother Ahmed Shibbir, continue the slide.
Okay, thank you, sister. So I am Ahmad Shibbir. So now I want to describe our hypothesis and other thing. So our hypothesis was we are actually going to find what people used to prefer before buying a new phone, and our hypothesis can be stated that people who choose a high configuration mobile has also higher budget. And to conduct this survey, we actually follow some method, and here is some method that we are actually following. And to conduct our to collect our data, we actually makes a Google form, and it was the online survey. And on this survey, the respondents were asked to answer few questions that related to our research. And our survey, 103 people join with us, and we use random method to collect data, and from the data collected we use the variance and standard deviation to determine the spread of the data and the consistency of the variable. And here is a methodology, the preliminary analysis. To measure the centrality, we used mean, median, and mode. And full scale analysis was the variance, standard deviation, and Chebyshev theorem. And for our random test, we used the run test and hypothesis test. It was also called the S test. And our dependent variable is the preferred phone, and independent variables are age, gender, and activities. So now I want to call brother Jobaer to continue.
Uh, Thank you, Brother Shibbir. Assalamu alaikum to all. In my section, I saw a question: why do we want to buy a new phone? First of all, the majority of people, around 35% people, want to buy a smartphone for using, socializing with friends and family. Next, the second highest is around 27.2% people want to buy a smartphone for purpose of education. After that, in the pie chart, we can see almost similar percentage between gaming and conducting business, and their percentage is 10.7 and 9.7 respectively. Now, last but not the least, around 17% people using mobile phone for other work. Next, do we think the brand is important for a quality phone? In our survey, we can see almost 80% people say yes, brand is important, and other 20% is no. Now I would refer Brother Ehsanul Haque to continue our presentation.
Thank you, Brother Zubair, for giving me the floor and my other group mates. In my section, I am going to talk about priority of RAM and camera. As we mentioned earlier, that we are going to find our preferred phone by giving the right preference of different configurations. So, in the camera, out of 100, around 69 people have chosen camera as their top priority by giving 5 ratings, and which is around percentage of 69. And the second is RAM. With out of 103 responses, around 64% have responded 5 ratings, and which is in percentage 61.1. So we can say that in camera and RAM, if we compare these two things are the top pick for the buyers while buying a new phone. And next I am going to analyze our whole thing. In our analysis, in result analysis, our hypothesis was people who prefers better configuration may have higher budget or more than USD 600. So what I can say about this thing is, if a person chooses a thing like good camera and a good RAM, then his budget will automatically increase to more than USD 600. And we decided a high configuration phone in which RAM and camera quality is high. Like our preferences will be RAM and camera quality, then it will be a high configuration phone. So this was our hypothesis. Next, we can say that in our result analysis, we have got mean of preference for RAM is 4.42, which is around 4.5, and mean of preferences for camera is 4.56. So almost in those two things, every customer thinks to buy a phone which have a good RAM and a camera. So we can say that mean of RAM and mean of camera both are good, and so almost everyone out of 103 responses have chosen these two things as their right preference. Then in case of budget, according to our primary hypothesis, if customer prefers a good camera and RAM, then their budget will be higher proportional to the configuration. So as I mentioned earlier, that according to our primary hypothesis, if a person choose a good camera and RAM, automatically it will be a proportional thing. Like if any person wants to buy a new camera, a good camera and a RAM, then his budget will be increased automatically. Then the most important thing is analysis of budget. So here we can see that maximum people choose the budget limits from USD 200 to USD 600, which is a medium budget category. So if we look into the graph, we can say that below USD only 17% and more than USD 600 is 26. So below USD is the lower budget limit, and more than 600 USD is higher budget limit. But most of the people, around 66%, has chosen in between USD 200 to USD 600. So we can clearly affirm that our mid-range budget have been chosen by all the customers who wants to buy a new phone, but their top pick was camera and RAM. And here is the simple mathematical analysis of our mean of budgets. So we have got that 443.69 USD was the mean for the budget. So we can easily conclude this budget to mid-range budget category, because in our category of budget, USD 600 and more was the higher budget category. So another important thing is the run test. We all know from our class activities that if we want to find the random test, then the value must be within plus 1.96 to minus 1.96 to plus 1.96. So after calculation, we have got a clear idea that our test was random, because we have got our mathematical value is minus 1.85, which falls in between minus 1.16 and 96 and plus 1.96. So there is enough evidence to accept the hypothesis that the arrangement is random. This proves that our data is collected randomly. And in our conclusion part, in this part, I would like to call upon Brother Hassan to conclude our program.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Brother Ehsanul Haque, for referring me and my other groupmate for describing our project. Here I can conclude that from the discussion already done by our groupmates, we can say 95% people keep the priority of RAM and camera on top when people buy a new smartphone, but their budget is 443.69 US dollar, which fall into mid-range budget. We can conclude by saying that people want a high-quality phone, but the budget is in between mid-range. Uh, we have also a recommendation in future for a better survey result. Surveyor needs to more specific on which they are going to focus about priority, which will help them a lot. Thank you everyone for watching us. Especially thanks our ma'am. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.